The number in this title is not arbitrary. This is the exact multiplier I ended up with after completing
the editing gauntlet.
Okay, I promise you it's a lot more exciting than it looks. I'm confident that after you watch this video that you too can learn how to increase the speed and efficiency of your editing. There are 4 stages that roughly resemble where an editor may be at with their speed of editing. In this editing obstacle course that I've created, I'll need to perform specific editing tasks as quickly as possible. Each red marker on the challenge clip shows the portions that I need to cut out. There's also a red X marked over the shot that corresponds to this. I'll be editing in the typical fashion that an editor would within each stage. As you're watching, try to identify which stage you're in. And if you already know everything in this video, please let me know in the comments that you are stage 5, the video editing goat. Stage 1, the clicker and dragger. 3, 2, 1. In stage 1, you may be completely new to editing in professional software, and that's great because you're gonna get a lot out of this video. Notice right away, I need to zoom into my timeline. I have to use the magnifying glass. I don't know the shortcut for that because I'm a beginner. Now I'm going to switch to my razor tool to make a cut here. At stage 1, you're most likely clicking on the tool you want, then clicking to use that tool. Thankfully, I know about snapping. The snapping of the razor on these marker points is giving me that advantage. And you're also most likely selecting the gap and using the delete key to delete that gap. You're also most likely clicking and dragging edit points for trimming. Okay, there's still a lot of Gauntlet to go, and you may be thinking, come on, Sean, you underestimate me. I'm better than this. This is my time for stage 1. Let's see if you got what it takes for stage 2. 3, 2, 1. Your hands have cramped up from all the vigorous clicking and dragging, so you finally decided to learn some default shortcuts, using C for the razor tool to quickly make cuts, and V to switch back to the selection tool to delete clips and click and drag trim points. And you've discovered that you can delete the clip and the gap all at the same time using the ripple delete shortcut, Shift plus delete on PC or Shift plus 4 delete on Mac. At this point here within the Gauntlet, instead of clicking and dragging the trim points to lengthen the edit, you now have discovered Extend Selected Edit to Playhead, shortcut E. Wherever your playhead is, the clip's trim point will move to that location, meaning you can make quick work of this section here. Sean, okay, this is way too basic. Time. Fine, let's move on. Time. Here's my time for stage 2. 1:57. I think I did a bit faster than that. Stage 3, your keyboard is kitted out with shortcuts galore. You barely touch the mouse and you're blazing fast. 3, 2, 1, go. At this beginning section of the Gauntlet, instead of using the razor tool, you use the add edit shortcut to make a cut at the playhead, Control or Command K. And instead of clicking on the clips to delete them, you now make use of the select clip at playhead, shortcut D, to select the clip, then hit the ripple delete shortcut, Shift plus delete on PC or Shift plus 4 delete on Mac to shred through this section. Rather than clicking and dragging the playhead to this next group of clips, you instead use the shortcut, select next clip, then ripple delete. You repeat the shortcut until you reach the next clip that needs to be deleted. Wrong, don't do that. Why? Because sometimes using the mouse is faster. When it comes to this portion here, quickly clicking and dragging a lasso around this larger group of clips, then ripple deleting, is faster than using the select next clip then delete combo. The lesson here is that although it's great to learn new shortcuts and not use the mouse for everything, sometimes the mouse is faster, it can be more tactile, and less clunky than using shortcuts. At this point, you feel like an absolute pro, and you probably are, but maybe you're still thinking, Sean, you're still missing some of the most basic tricks here. They're obvious. You're right. My time for stage 3. Not bad. I could probably do it a bit faster. Stage 4. 3, 2, 1, go. You're making use of all of what you know from stage 3, but the big difference here is that you've rebound your keyboard shortcuts to be easier to access. They're now clumped closer to your keyboard hand, saving you microseconds and saving you from cramped hands. You've also discovered one of the most important shortcuts. You add an edit at the playhead here, but then instead of adding another edit and deleting the clip, you use the ripple trim previous edit to playhead shortcut. The default shortcut is Q. Using this shortcut means that everything between the playhead and the previous edit will be deleted, including the gap, causing everything to the right of the playhead to shift into place. You also find that you can ripple trim the next edit to the playhead, default shortcut W, meaning everything between the playhead and the next edit will be deleted, including the gap, shifting all of the remaining clips to the right of the playhead into place. You continue to use the optimized shortcuts through the remainder of the edit until you reach the end, and click a lasso around the rest of the clips to delete. No, don't do that. Use the track select forward tool, default shortcut A, to select all the clips to the right of the cursor, then hit delete.
Time. That's a pretty good time. I think that's pretty fast.
Let's tally the results. Using the shortcuts learned in this video, I was able to complete the Gauntlet in record time. With practice, I know I can improve, and I'm sure many of you watching can find some ways to optimize this time. And that's why I've included a link within the description of this video that contains the Premiere project along with the video clip for you to challenge your own speed. Share it with me on YouTube or Instagram at Sean Dyking. Some of you keeners out there may have noticed that I employed one other huge shortcut that didn't fit in this challenge, but I cover it in another one of my tutorials on fast editing, which is linked on the end screen.
Editing faster takes practice. Your results might be quicker or slower than this multiplier. Either way, keep at it. And remember, editing isn't just about being fast. In the real working world, your goal is to tell a story that creates an emotional impact. Edit speed is only part of the equation. I hope you learned a lot, and remember, story is your guide. Thanks for watching.